joined now by the former Victims Commissioner, Dame Vera Baird. Hi, Dame Vera. Thanks for joining us on the programme. Your thoughts on this case, first of all?
This was the whole judgment has been released last night. This is a woman of 44 with no previous convictions, 3 children. During lockdown, had gone back to her estranged partner, though she was involved with another man whose pregnancy it was. It's clearly not a desired pregnancy, maybe a failure of contraception. She can't get a scan. She doesn't know exactly, but there's no doubt she knows roughly how long she's gone. And she doesn't know what to do. She doesn't see a doctor because she's embarrassed. And all the evidence is she's thrashing around in an emotional turmoil, exercising her conscience in a proper way, it seems, to decide what she can and what she can't do. And in the end, she must decide that she needs to, that is what happened, that she needs to have an abortion. So then, of course, she's in a position where she has to lie to get the pills, and she takes them. I don't underestimate for 1 minute the appalling consequences to her, because taking pills to have an abortion is a relatively light thing, but this is wholly different. Late in the day, emergency services called, and so let alone the fetus and the position of that being very well developed. But this is overwhelmingly a woman who needed the help and support of medical and other services and couldn't get them and didn't get them. And to send a person of this kind to prison seems to me to be not in the public interest in any way. If she lived 100 miles further to the west in Northern Ireland, where this government that we have took power and abolished the criminality of abortion in 2019, then she would not be where she is now. So this, I think, has not done anybody any good. As an individual, she needs to appeal this sentence. And there is a danger, as very well expressed by the senior medical people who wrote to the judge, the Royal College of Obstetricians, etc., about 10 senior health figures. There is a bit of a danger that prosecuting somebody in this way puts other people off exercising their decision in a proper way. They won't know exactly what time limit it is, and so on. People are not all universally, especially in this state, socially accomplished and able to sort things out. They need help and support. So my view is that the sooner we abolish this criminality, which comes from an 1861 statute, long before women had a vote or any say in it, and has been scrapped in Northern Ireland to no known ill effect, the better. And we do need, in my view, an access right to abortion services for all women in this position, so that they can get all the advice and medical help they need, either way, in either direction, whatever they choose, but a human right of access to that. So no one ever has to shake in their shoes at the prospect of going to a doctor and saying, I'm not married, or I'm having an affair and I'm pregnant. Those two things
Okay,
would
Dame
be...
Vera, let me ask you this. The judge said that if she'd pleaded guilty earlier, he may have been able to consider suspending her jail term. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that's something the Court of Appeal is going to have to sort out, because she couldn't plead guilty to this at the Magistrates' Court. He does say very clearly that he felt he would have been able to suspend the sentence, and given that the judge is stuck with this ancient law and a prosecution that, frankly, is not in the public interest, in my view, ever to have been brought. He's stuck with that, but the suspended sentence would, in my view, have been the best sentence. She was not charged with this offence at the Magistrates' Court. It was after that her barrister wrote to the CPS and suggested this offence instead of child destruction. So there's a muddle up there. The prosecution agreed, put the charge in. She pleaded to it about 3 months before the trial. She should, this woman has, because of her emotional state and the lack of help, missed one timetable in the abortion field. She is now in prison because she's missed another timetable, which probably was absolutely not her fault. So I hope the Court of Appeal, I hope she appeals. She really must. And I hope that the Court of Appeal takes care of it. But never letting anyone get into this situation again can be brought about by regularising the law, just as it has been done in Northern Ireland. That seems urgent to me, and assuring people that they're entitled to abortion advice if they find themselves in this position, so they have no hesitation but to seek help.
Okay, thank you very much indeed for joining us on the programme. Thank